Oh my goodness, you guys. Devin Booker, Chris Paul. Wow. Absolute insanity to finish off that game. That was absolutely crazy. Hey there, guys. My name is Brandon, aka Suns Geek, and if it has to deal with the Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it. That is right, you guys. The Phoenix Suns hang on and defeat the Dallas Mavericks 109-108. Devin Booker and Chris Paul were absolutely huge in that fourth quarter. I'm going to give it a few minutes before we get started here. I got so many notes, so many things to talk about, but all I got to say is that fourth quarter was absolutely insane. I take back everything bad I said about Devin Booker because he was huge. He like completely heated up in that fourth quarter. And, you know, he's coming off of a hamstring injury, and hamstring injuries are so tricky that just for the fact that he heated up, like maybe Devin Booker is an all-star this season. I don't know, but we're going to dive right into it. Thank you guys so much for being here already. I am drinking a orange Fanta, not sponsored, and also have my water. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I'm just going to check out the chat. The chat is blowing up. So thank you to everybody who's in here. Let me know how the audio is sounding, and then we will get started. I'm going to, I'll be back in 30 seconds, and then we will get started. So as I just said, Devin Booker and Chris Paul win the game for the Phoenix Suns. We have so much to talk about here, you guys. What a game. Devin Booker just showing up. I think he had like 15 points in the fourth quarter, finished with like 24. I'm going to check out the box score a little bit later. But, man, just what a game it was for the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks. This was a game of runs. I'm going to take you guys through my notes. Thank you guys so much for everyone who is in here. I'm seeing the chat right now. I appreciate you guys. And if you're wondering why I'm looking both ways here, it's because I have one monitor here and one monitor here. Also, you guys, just wanted to sort of apologize to you, kind of. I did a lot of these live streams at the start of the season. You know, I covered most of the preseason. I did the Suns' first few games, and then on top of doing other videos and on top of my life, I kind of just got burnt out in terms of live streams. So I'm not going to make any promises, but I do want to start doing live streams again. And there's a few like Suns podcasts out there that want me on. So I'm thinking that, you know, I might do more of these. And that's another reason why, is because there's people who want me to come on their channel and talk Suns. So once again, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Let me know how the audio is sounding. Appreciate everybody who's here. And if you guys want to, you guys totally don't have to donate with Super Chat. It does help out this channel, and I would really, really appreciate it. I would invest it all back into this channel. My phone, my Apple Watch is blowing up. I got to mute the sound. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, let's dive right into it. So I'm just looking at my notes here. You know, this was a game of runs, like I said. I don't even know where to begin. I'm still processing the end of that fourth quarter. This was not Deandre Ayton's best game. Chris Paul played like a complete Hall of Famer. I thought he was going for a triple-double tonight. We're going to have to see what he finished with in terms of the box score. But yeah, you guys, this was a game kind of, I guess, of energy, because the Dallas Mavericks, you know, we all know that they're kind of on a losing streak right now. I think they've lost like 6 in a row. Their energy hasn't been up. We all know that the Suns team struggles with their energy quarter after quarter. So that was one thing I was looking for tonight was energy. And, you know, like I said, Chris Paul was playing like a Hall of Famer. And I saw one stat that was like Chris Paul either scored or assisted on like 30 points in the last Suns game. He either scored or assisted on 30, which is crazy. It's like that's what Chris Paul is. He's a Hall of Famer. He's the king of the mid range, one of the greatest point guards of all time. And since Booker was, out for 4 games, Chris Paul, his usage rate went up, and he is just performing so well. He's on a hot streak right now, and it's really good to see. I think also players like Langston Galloway have been playing good. Frank Kaminsky's been playing good. You just heard it right. Frank Kaminsky has been playing good. I hope he's okay, by the way. He collided knees with somebody on the Mavericks, and he looked like he went straight to the bench. I hope he's okay. But yeah, the Suns are now 8-1 since the Luka and Ayton draft. That's pretty awesome. The Mavericks continue to struggle. I think they're probably bottom of the Eastern Conference. The Suns have now won 3 games in a row, if I'm correct, 3 games in a row. And I think the Suns were like 0-7 without Booker or something like that. I don't know. There was some stat like that. The Mavericks are a team, they're allowing like nearly 119 points per game. So obviously that showed tonight. This was a game of runs, barely any defense played. But let's dive into the first quarter here. Let me just look at my notes. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Really my first half notes were just Chris Paul. I mean, the guy looked like he was going to have a triple-double early in the first half. This was kind of a low-scoring game, in my opinion. Both teams just shot horrific from the first half. I mean, I think at one point the Suns were shooting 16% from 3. They were like 3 for 18 at one point from 3. The Mavericks weren't doing any better. There was one point of the game where both teams couldn't hit a shot to save their life. Josh Richardson for the Dallas Mavericks was really big. He's a player who I think might have been coming off of an injury or like the virus protocols or something like that, but he was big in this game. He had 14 points in the first half. At halftime, it was 53-47. Dallas was up 5. And as I said, Chris Paul, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 8 for 10 from the field. Deandre Ayton, I know that it's easy to pick on Deandre Ayton, but I would call this game from Ayton unaware. DeAndre Ayton there's games where, I know that it's easy to pick on DeAndre Ayton, and I'm a believer in him, and I know he's going to be a good player one day. I even think he could be an all-star one day, but he was just so out of it this game, you guys. It was bad. Like, we all know that he can get 20 rebounds in his sleep. I don't know how much he ended up with. I'm going to look at the box score soon. And he looked okay in the first half. He had some flashes, but just looked unaware, looked unengaged. It was bad. Like I said, Frank Kaminsky played very well in this game. I'm kind of just taking you guys quarter by quarter through my notes here. The Mavericks closed the second quarter on an 8-0 run. It was a slow start for the Suns in the third. 9-1 run late in the third quarter for the Suns. They went to the zone defense, and they just kept attacking. And that was kind of how I think they clawed and scratched their way back into the game. I'm sorry. I need a sip of something to drink. But yeah, so let's get to the chat real quick, and then I'll get back to my notes. We're about 10 minutes in already, and I appreciate everybody who's in here. So we say Devin Booker with the game winner. Thank God. Shout out to DJ Mike, who's here. I appreciate you, man. Pure Toxic is here. Yeah, I mean, DJ Mike says 11-8, and that I want to talk to you guys about that. I'm thinking of making a video about this in the future. I've been a little bit harsh on this Suns team. Realistically, you guys, we should probably be like 20-6. There are some games we deserve to lose. Like, we deserve to lose that Pistons game where we collapsed in the second half. We deserve to lose that Washington Wizards game where players just didn't show up. But like, if the chemistry was clicking from like the start of the season, and if Devin Booker, played like he played tonight and at an all-star level, excuse me, I just burped. I think we'd honestly have a better record, but don't let this record fool you, you guys. I've been listening to a lot of NBA media personalities who I trust, and they've all made good points saying, like, this is a weird season. Don't let the records fool you. A lot of teams have bad records right now. A lot of teams have bad losses. So when I saw DJ Mike's comment here saying 11-8, that kind of just got me thinking. I kind of wanted to go on a little bit of a rant about that. Like, we might end up at the end of the season with a weird record, but like, don't let it fool you. It's a weird season, with the virus and no preseason or little preseason, no training camp, et cetera, et cetera. So just thought I would go on a little bit of a rant there. Just checking the chat. Shout out to my boy Aaron, who's here. Rise Phoenix is here. Thank you guys so much for all being here. Justin says, Dbook, we did it, Brandon. Go Suns. I'm screaming. Yeah, it was I should have just went live like the last minute of the game, but I wasn't sure what was gonna happen. And whew, that's all I gotta say. Matthew says, really squeaking this one out, huh? Yeah, hey, a win is a win. And the Suns are kind of on a hot streak right now, if you will. And I'm just glad that they came out with the win. Playoffs, here we come, says DJ Mike. All right, so let's continue to get into it once more, you guys. I just wanted to remind you, if you guys are kind enough, if you guys want to, you totally don't have to, donate to Suns Geek with Super Chat. I would really, really appreciate it. And all that money would go back into this channel, investing into this channel. So thank you guys so much for being here once again. So let's start with, you know what? We're just gonna fast forward to the fourth quarter and kind of the notes that I took. The Suns were down 11, and I think at one point the Suns were on a 10-0 run. Like I said, this game was full of runs. Devin Booker, 15 in the fourth quarter. I think he ended up with 24. The final score 109-108. Chris Paul with 34 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, almost a triple-double, almost 35 points, 14 for 20 from the field, did a masterful job out there. People really don't understand. There's some people out there that just are like, why did we trade for Chris Paul? And don't get me wrong, I was a little on the fence, on the ladder about it at first, but it's Chris Paul. The guy is a Hall of Famer. This is a guy that, is he's got the NBA resume. He's got the pedigree. This is a guy that helped the OKC Thunder go into the playoffs last year when nobody thought they were going to make it. And he's going to do the same thing again with this Phoenix Suns team. So, unless everything just completely collapses for the Suns or they have major injuries, there's no way that the Suns team cannot make the playoffs. So, Chris Paul, that's all I got to say. That's my biggest takeaway of this game. And Devin Booker, who just went insane in that fourth quarter. He was playing it was weird. Like, I wasn't sure if he was going to be like on a minutes restriction because he didn't play, I don't think, too much in the first half. Correct me if I'm wrong there, guys. Didn't really look that good either. And then he just kept getting the minutes. He must have been feeling good because Monty Williams said, like, Devin Booker wouldn't be out there if he couldn't do what he's going to do. Hamstring injuries are tricky. We all got to remember that. So obviously he was good to go, or the medical staff and the coaching staff would have never let him play. And yeah, he just took over. It was, even for me, I've been one of Devin Booker's biggest critics this year, and he just took over. And it's not surprising. We've seen Devin Booker do this season after season, night after night, game after game, and he was great. And Deandre, and I'm looking at the stats now, 10 points, 17 rebounds. But again, he can do that in his sleep. He just looked so unaware tonight. Luka with 25, 8 and 5, 7 for 18 from the field. He was pissed at the end of the game. Like, I saw him go to the locker room and he was pissed. I don't blame him. And Devin Booker hit that game-winning 3. Let's go ahead and look at the box score finally. And then I might read you guys just some other random notes that I took. Okay, so the Suns actually ended up, both teams shot it pretty well. 46% from the Suns, 43% from the Mavericks. The Suns somehow ended the night shooting a better 3-point percentage than the Mavericks. 37% from three for the Suns, 31% from the Mavericks. We got a super chat in here, by the way. Big shout out to my friend Cody. He says, big shout out to Brandon, aka Suns Geek. Cody, you totally didn't have to do that, man. Thank you so much. And quick side note, my good friend Cody sent my brother and I a huge Christmas package of all these incredible gifts. So big shout out to you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. And once again, you guys, if you want to donate with Super Chat, I'd really appreciate it. I'd invest it right back into the channel. And you guys are all awesome. Go ahead and start flooding the chat. Ask me questions, and I will try to get to all of them. And yeah, so let's get back to the box score. Like I said, somehow the Suns ended up shooting a better percentage than the Mavericks did from three. 37% from the Suns. What else stood out tonight? Wow, the Mavericks 96% from the free throw line. The Suns won the rebounding battle 45-42. And the Suns had 19 assists tonight. Not the best. I mean, I think there's been some games where they've had like 25 something assists. But that's decent. Suns had 16 turnovers, so not the greatest, not the worst. Points in the paint. The Mavericks had 30 points in the paint at halftime. And that's kind of surprising too, because Willie Cauley-Stein had a great game last time the Suns played the Mavericks. And, I know they have Dwight Powell. This game they had Kristaps Porzingis, who I'm a big Kristaps Porzingis fan, by the way. So that's interesting. I mean, I kind of had tweeted it out earlier. I was like, if Deandre Ayton can be aggressive from the tip, which he wasn't, and attack, I was like, I don't think that, they could stop him. But I think Kristaps Porzingis was a big, kind of influence in the night. And that's why the Mavs ended up with 50 points in the paint, which isn't terrible. I mean, I think there was one game earlier in the year where the other team had like 80 points in the paint. So I don't know. But yeah, crazy game tonight. Let's check out okay, let me talk about Cam Johnson real quick. He played 35 minutes tonight. 35 minutes and only had 10 points. He had 2 threes. He had 5 boards. I'm not sure if he should be starting. I love Cam Johnson. I'm a big believer in Cam Johnson. One of my all-time best videos, in my opinion, is about Cam Johnson and his defensive potential. But I don't know if he should be starting yet. And that actually brings me to one of my notes here that I saw earlier. The Phoenix Suns are 9-6, 9 wins and 6 losses when Jay Crowder is starting. They are, well, I guess now is 10 and, sorry, having some issues here. Sorry, something bad on my end's happening. Anyways, so yeah, they're 10 and something with Jay Crowder starting. I don't even know what I'm talking about, you guys. And now they're like 2-2 with him off the bench. Some stat like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I think Jay Crowder should be starting, at least for now. Even if you have to like flip-flop them all season long, I would say start Jay Crowder, because Cam Johnson, I just feel like he hasn't really found a shot yet. He's had a few good games this year. And maybe Monty is starting him for a reason that we don't know. I would like to find out. And we'll see. It might be a game by game thing. We don't have Dario Saric right now, too. But yeah, he's been kind of struggling, in my opinion. That's just me, though. All right, so let's get back to the box score here. Mikhail Bridges. You know what? On nights like this, I can forgive him for having a bad offensive night, because he has the hardest job in the world, which is guarding Luka. That's just my personal opinion anyways. I'm not saying that every night he should only have 10 points or whatever it was that he had, but any night you have to guard Luka or like LeBron or Giannis, he can have a bad offensive night. He was kind of invisible tonight. I've used that term before too. Like sometimes Mikhail Bridges is invisible, but he's at the same time he's not, because he's guarding the team's best perimeter player, So personal opinion there. But yeah, Mikhail Bridges and Cam Johnson, 38 minutes, 35 minutes, both bad shooting nights. Didn't really do much on the box score. This is why I hate the plus minus too. Cam Johnson was a plus 10 and he had a bad shooting night. I'm like, it just makes zero sense. Someone explain the box score to me, because if you live and die by that, that stat is so stupid. Not the box score, the plus minus. I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about. You guys can quote me on that. Anyway, so real quick, before we keep diving into the box score, let's just look at some comments here. Wow, Chris Paul, 70% field goal shooting. That is insane. That is insane. I know we won, but these refs were hard to watch. No travel call on Luka's carry and unnecessary foul calls, like shaking my head. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Monty Williams, I made a video talking about it. Monty Williams, I think, talked to the NBA about these questionable, confusing, bad calls, and tonight was just another one of those examples. Let's see here. I think my boy Official Romp is in here. Oh, sorry. Romp 2.0. I caught myself in that. Shout out to my boy Romp 2.0. He makes great basketball content. So if you guys want to go check him out, go subscribe. Suns Geek sleeping on Ayton's stop against Luka, which set up Devin Booker's game winner. Yeah, but come on. By the way, when Devin Booker shot that, it looked like it was going to go off, because he kind of looked awkward when he shot it, and I think it was Tim Hardaway Jr. Someone contested it very well, and I was surprised it went in, but at the same time, not surprised, because it's Devin Booker. Jay Dubber says, is Nader hurt? No. Monty Williams, from what I know, he likes to, I don't know, like his rotations are kind of weird. And, Nader's been playing good. Like, I don't know why he didn't play tonight. I don't know if it was a size thing, a matchup thing. I don't know. Roy says Dbook is going to be an all-star. Let's hope. If he plays like he did tonight, he definitely will be. Let's see. Thoughts on CP3's 34? Yeah, I mean, I've talked about it. And like I said, last game, he either scored or assisted on 30 points. He's been playing great, probably like the last 5 games. You could argue Chris Paul's been playing great all season long, because, he just does these kind of things. He takes over games when we need him. He's great in the clutch, closes out games. He's a second coach on and off the court, and man, it's great. JV says Mikhail Bridges, most improved player. Yeah, he just needs to keep playing better on the offensive end and be a little consistent. At the start of the season, it was looking like he was going to be the most improved player. He's definitely one of them, though. There should be like an unofficial award for like the top 5 most improved players. You know what I mean? Kind of like if there's like a all NBA defensive team, all NBA team. There should be like an all most improved player unofficial award, in my opinion. Jay Dubber says, is Jay starting again? We don't know yet. It's going to be curious to see if next game, if he will. Vote Suns Geek for an all-star. I just lost my voice. Give me 30 seconds, guys. I got to drink some water here. It's been a while since I've done one of these live streams, and I'm a bit rusty. See you in 30 seconds. All right. So yeah, that's really it, guys. Like I do have some other notes. I mean, I could pick on DeAndre Ayton this whole live stream because a lot of my notes were about DeAndre Ayton. Let me just say this about DeAndre Ayton, kind of like I said earlier. Is that let me plug in my computer too. DeAndre Ayton's a great player. I know he's going to be an all-star one day in this league, but he needs to bring it night in and night out. He needs to, from the tip off, come out and just, be aggressive, block shots, grab rebounds, be aggressive. And one thing that I've noticed kind of all season long, and maybe even last season, I might have to go back and look at highlights from the bubble, is like his court awareness and just him being unaware at times. It's bad, you guys. Like, yeah, this is the best league in the world. These are, NBA players are professionals, but like there's times where it's like, I think I could play better than DeAndre Ayton. Like, I'm serious. Like, I have a play on my phone where DeAndre Ayton, some play kind of was broken up and they passed it to Ayton and he kind of took like these little tiny dribbles and then just completely lost the ball. I think Maxi Kleber stole it from him. And I'm just like, dude, like, what are you doing, DeAndre Ayton? Like, work on your hands. Like, he needs to team up with like Larry Fitzgerald or something and learn how to catch the ball. Now, again, in all fairness, tonight Chris Paul was like chucking bullet passes. He even did it to Mikhail Bridges, and Mikhail Bridges couldn't catch it. But man, this guy needs to work on his hands. And Romp 2.0 said it perfectly. He said, incoming DeAndre Ayton rant. Yes, DeAndre Ayton rant is now over, because that's all I have to say is that DeAndre Ayton needs to just play more consistent each and every single night. He needs to be aggressive from the tip. But I will defend DeAndre Ayton here. I will defend him. He does a lot of things that don't show up on the box score. He is a good defender, believe it or not, especially when he gets on switches. Like when point guards try to switch on him, they think like, oh, here's an easy 2 or 3 points. Most of the time, that's not true. Like DeAndre Ayton will contest that shot. He's good on these smaller guards, and he loves guarding smaller guards too. And again, he does a lot of things that don't show up on the box score, but DeAndre Ayton has a long way to go before he's an all-star. So that's it. Someone says that settles it. Suns Geek is going to be our starting center. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know, you guys. That's really it. I don't really know what else I want to say. I'm just kind of looking at some notes here. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, oh yeah, let's continue looking at the box score. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so rusty. It's been a long time. It's literally been like over a month since I've done a live stream, so I am just off my game tonight. Ayton had 5 fouls. Thank God he didn't foul out. And Romp did make a good point. He said, like, Ayton was the cause really for Booker's game winner. And that reminds me too, is I think in the bubble when Booker hit that, historic, memorable buzzer beater against the Clippers, I think it was Ayton and Bridges that were like responsible for that 3 to happen. That's just a quick side note. Devin Booker finished with 24 points, 4 for 8 from 3, 9 for 19 from the field in just 31 minutes. And of course, the plus minus says he's a -1, even though he hit the game-winning shot. That stat is stupid. Let's show some love to Frank Kaminsky, you guys. 15 minutes, 4 for 7 from the field, 4 rebounds, 11 points. The dude got called for 2 fouls, but it was like, I swear, like the refs just didn't let the Suns breathe tonight. There were a couple possessions where I think Frank got like back-to-back fouls, and he's been playing pretty good, you guys. I see why the Suns picked him up off waivers because he knows the offense. He's a good chemistry guy, good for backup, center minutes because obviously they're not giving that to Damian Jones. No Jalen Smith tonight. I just noticed that. I'm looking at the box score. Langston Galloway, 20 points, only Langston Galloway, 20 minutes, 6 points. He had 1-3 where he stared down Tim Hardaway Jr., I think. Someone asked me in the chat earlier, I think it was JV. Someone asked me, what's wrong with Jevon Carter? Sorry, let me take this down real quick. So to answer JV's question from earlier, I don't know if anything really is wrong with Jevon Carter. It could be like a rotation kind of thing. Like Monty, like I said, is strange with his rotations. Jevon Carter's shot hasn't really been here like all season. We all know that Jevon Carter brings it on the defensive end. I do think he does need to play more consistent, but he hasn't really been getting those minutes either. I hope Jevon Carter's okay because we did just sign him to that contract. I don't think he's going anywhere. It wouldn't really make sense to sign him to a contract and just trade him. We all know that he's a great chemistry guy and he hypes up the bench and he's bringing it every night on defense. And yeah, I don't know. All right, so let's dive into some comments here because I've honestly read everything I need to read. So ask me some questions right now. Let's go for it. Watch Suns Geek drop 50 points next game. Mark Jackson says, thank you, Suns Geek. Well, thank you, Mark Jackson. I appreciate you being here. Roy says, Suns Geek, you made my day, man. Well, I'm glad I made your day. You guys make my day for sitting me here doing a bad live stream where I have no clue where I'm talking about. And just the fact that you guys are wasting your time with me. I appreciate you. Shout out to my boy, Aaron. Suns Geek, you're the man. Sawbuck says, hello, Suns Geek tears. Ayton is our David Robinson, and we need a Tim Duncan to form our twin towers. Jalen Smith in the future? I'm serious. Like, I think that's why they drafted Jalen Smith. Like, James Jones said, like, I want Jalen Smith and Deandre Ayton to be like the anchors on defense. And let me just say this. I get what you're saying, Sawbucks. I love David Robinson. I love Tim Duncan. They're incredible players who both don't get talked about as much as they should. But DeAndre Ayton's got a long way to go if he wants to be David Robinson. David Robinson doesn't get talked about enough. That dude was massive. Like, if I was in a fight, like, I'd want him on my side. Like, that dude is a freak. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. There's still real. Sorry, I can't read. There's still a real NBA All-Star game. We got a Madden 2021 Pro Bowl. Yeah, they are discussing a All-Star game. They're even discussing an All-Star weekend. I think they might take out the Rising Stars game, which that kind of doesn't make sense. I would probably just want an All-Star game due to the circumstances. But yeah, they're thinking that there will be an All-Star. And worst case scenario is there's no All-Star game, but people are still selected All-Stars, So I say, why not? Just do it. And if Booker can step up his game, lower his turnovers, and keep scoring and playing the way he's been playing, I think he will be an All-Star. And like I said, one day, DeAndre Ayton will be an All-Star as well. All right, let's see. Do you think Luka gets too many calls from the refs? Yes. That's simple. I don't got to say anything else. Yes. Jay Dubber says, Frank or Dario? Oh, man, it's Dario Saric. This team would have a better record, and this team would be playing better if Dario Saric was playing. I don't know what's going on with Dario. I don't know if it's health and safety protocols or if it's some lingering injury. It's weird. I feel like he hasn't really, played, all year. Frank is ready for his 2-year, $50 million contract. Just kidding. Well, he's played good the last few games. That's all I'll say. I'm not saying he deserves a huge contract or anything, but he's been playing good. Okay. Dragon Bender is greater than Frank the Tank, and Frank the Tank is greater than MJ. Yes, welcome to Suns Geek. Not sure. I bet you we see Carter get back in the lineup Wednesday versus the Pelicans. Yeah, sometimes it's just all about matchups, and I think that's why we didn't see Abdel Nader tonight. Let's see. JV says trade Javon Carter to Chicago. We'll give you Patrick Williams. How about you give us Patrick Williams for a future 2035 draft pick? Anyone notice how much rebound CP3 gets for his size? Josiah the Baller, long time, man. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, that's true. A lot of great point guards do that. You know, a lot of Hall of Famers do that, you know, and you're absolutely right about that. That was one thing. Speaking of Chris Paul, Kelly Oubre was really good at that too. I know that Kelly Oubre is obviously a lot bigger than Chris Paul. Excuse me. But Kelly Oubre was a good rebounder, and Chris Paul, I don't know how many he averages for his career, but let's check that out. Actually, we're going to go look at his career reboundings. So this season, he's averaging 4.6 rebounds per game. And for his career, I don't know how much for his career. Oh, sorry. For his career, he's averaging 4.5 rebounds. Wow. So Josiah the Baller. Awesome. Thank you for doing this. I have to go later, you guys. The Expanse is calling me. That's a really good show, by the way. I haven't seen anything past season 2, but it's a really good show. My Apple Watch is blowing up again. This has to be the worst officiated game I've ever seen. Believe it or not, I've seen worse. Back in 2017, who did you think would be better in the future? Chris or Bender? Marquise Chris. I love Marquise Chris. I wish Marquise Chris and Dragan Bender were both on this team now with this roster. You know, if we had like 17 roster spots, you know, like I would love to see how they would progress on a team like this. That's just my personal opinion anyways. Let's see. Oh, sorry, there was a question here. I lost it. Here we go. Oh, wait, no, not that question. I'm sorry. Suns Geek is a future Hall of Famer. Well, thank you so much, JV. And by the way, I see the work you're doing on your channel, man. It's keep it up, bro. You talk about like all sports. It's like crazy. I mean, Abdel Nader is doing pretty good. He should have started. I don't know if he should have started, but at least been the 7th man off the bench. But he really has been playing good, and he's just a player that I like. The dude's got a huge wingspan. He plays hard. He attacks. He can hit the corner 3, and I don't know. He's good. Do you think the 2013-14 48 win Suns team, which nobody talks about, by the way, that team was awesome and they deserve to be talked about more, when Suns team was more fun than this current Suns? Oh, that's a good question, Killamoose. Oh, man, I was not ready for that question. I don't know, because we have a future Hall of Famer in Chris Paul in this team. You know, back then we had Miles Plumlee as our starting center, you know. And you can make the debate like Goran Dragic is a future Hall of Famer, but he's not Chris Paul, you know. Like Goran Dragic was the most improved player that year, and Gerald Green, one of my all-time favorite players, had a breakout season, and you know, Jeff Hornacek almost won Coach of the Year, I think, or did win. I don't remember. But I would say this team's more exciting because of the offensive resurgence. Is that the word I'm looking for? The offensive breakout of Mikhail Bridges, and you know, still Deandre Ayton's our number 1 overall pick, and Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and just the role players we have. So that's a great question, man. I might have to address that in a future video. Great question though. How will Dbook react if CP3 makes the All-Star game and Book doesn't, says Rory. I don't think Dbook will care. Dbook, he needs to just focus on getting better and doing what he did tonight and playing at a consistent level. And Chris Paul right now deserves to be an all-star. That's all I got to say, over Ayton and Booker. So go right now, go to NBA.com and vote for Chris Paul. And if you have Twitter, just type Chris Paul and use the hashtag NBA All-Star. And by the way, if you're on social media, share this live stream. I would really, really appreciate it. You know, make sure to subscribe, Hulk smash the like button, and I'd really appreciate that. I hope I earn your subscription by the end of this live stream. Okay. Suns Geek, would you sell your Dragon Bender jersey to Goodwill? I have like 3 Dragon Bender jerseys. I'm not kidding. I have 3 Dragon Bender jerseys, and no, because one of them I actually had bought. It was like on sales like $46 or something. It's like one of those like authentic ones too. And he signed it, and it was a clean signature, and the tag is still on there, and it's like in nearly perfect condition. And I love it. It's something that I want to keep forever because I just love Dragon Bender. Josiah the Baller says Bender sadly signed with a team overseas. Yeah, and Marquise Chris is he's with the Warriors currently injured, but when he was playing, Chris wasn't playing that bad. Like they like him over there in the Warriors, and God bless him. I hope that Marquise Chris has a great career. Let's see. Okay, so this is a joke on my channel that I'm a teacher, and Roy says Suns Geek is the best teacher on YouTube, no doubt. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate you, man. Ooh, so good question here. Why are we playing Etuan more? First, I thought the question said, why are we not playing Etuan more? Etuan Moore is a tricky player. From what I know, you know, this guy, he's been in the league for a few years, like 8 years or 9 or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. He's a veteran presence, and I don't know why I keep coming back to this quote. Zion Williamson's kind of said it perfectly. He was like, Etuan Moore is the kind of guy that like you cannot play for like 3 to 4 games, and then when you bring him in, he's ready to go. I think he's played okay. Like he played good in the last Mavericks game. There was one possession where the Suns ran a zone and he had Luka on. Like Etuan Moore was guarding Luka, and Luka ended up giving the ball up. Like he's okay. I mean, we're down players right now, man, and the rotations are weird, and I don't know. Another question here that I'm on the ladder, I guess, with, do you think we should let Booker handle the ball more? I've never been the biggest fan of point Booker, but I'm not against it. I mean, I think last season he averaged like 6 assists. I would say not this season, like maybe later in the season, because Booker, last time I checked, was leading the league in turnovers. Probably not anymore because he's been out for a few games, but man, this season it's been bad. He's been like indecisive with the ball, and I would say not yet, maybe later in the season. But I think he has been lowering his turnovers, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Oops. Bender's jersey is going to be hung up in the rafters. You mean the Suns Ring of Honor? What player do you want to see as a Sun? I have no clue, but I will say this. We need better rebounders, which could be slightly addressed with Dario Saric and maybe more Jalen Smith minutes. I don't know. You guys let me know on that. I this team does have some holes, they have flaws, but it's a weird season and not everything is clicking yet. But can you imagine when things do start to click? Like it's gonna be insane. Yeah, that's it, guys. Go ahead and ask me whatever. By the way, check out my shirt. Happy Black History Month, by the way. February. This month should be celebrated all year. And by the way, Martin Luther King Day should be celebrated once a month, in my opinion. So yeah, just really we can talk about whatever. I'll go live for 15 more minutes and then we'll call it. It's good to be doing these live streams again. I do want to do more of these, but I don't want to promise you guys anything because last time I did that, I didn't do a live stream for a whole month. By the way, donate to Super Chat. Donate to me, Sons Geek, with Super Chat, and I would really, really appreciate it. And just thank you guys for being here. I mean, we still got like 40 something people in here, and I'm just freestyling at this point. What a game. That's all I got to say. I'm glad we won. Suns are on a 3-game winning streak, I think, and the team looks like it's playing well despite, health and safety protocols and injuries. And hopefully we can get Campaign back. I honestly completely forgot about Campaign for a while because he's been out. But that dude is another guy who deserves a lot more credit, especially when he's healthy. At first I was like, ooh, are we rushing Devin Booker back? But he showed up in the second half and shut everybody up. I think he's been watching my videos and just said, this guy's criticizing me too much. I got to come out and win the game for the Suns. All right. Okay, so I kind of talked about Jalen Smith earlier. If you go back to the chat, he's a rookie. He's a raw prospect. I don't even know if he'll average 10 minutes a game this season, but you never know. He's young, and I know that he was coming back from he had the virus. The Suns had done a good job of not having many cases, but he did have the virus. I'm not going to call it by its actual name because of YouTube, whatever. But yeah, and I'm glad that he's healthy. And there's been a few games where he's played and he's played decent. I think he does deserve more minutes though. Yeah, Logan Smith said, I feel Jalen is a secret weapon we haven't unlocked yet. Exactly. Juan says, we have a solid all-around team. Exactly. But we still have holes and we still have flaws, in my opinion. Because, we're a top 10 defensive team, but there's some nights where it just doesn't feel like it, Feels like we're one of the worst defensive teams in the league, in my opinion. Let's see. Player do you think should be at? Okay. So yeah, Disney fan. By the way, have you seen those Suns NBA bubble Disney shirts, by the way? What player do you think should be added to the Ring of Honor next? Shawn Marion. And I can't point. But yeah, Mark Stoudemire. Shawn Marion first, though. Shawn Marion definitely deserves it. That guy deserves to be in the Basketball Hall of Fame, in my opinion. So yeah, I'd say Shawn Marion. Oh God, wait, am I still live? I don't know what's happening. I'm scared. Book doing his best Kobe impersonation with 24 points and 0 assists. Let me make sure we're still live here, guys. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I'm going to go for 30 seconds. Okay, are we still live? I don't know what's happening. Let me see here. Josiah the Baller says, what kind of players do you think the Mavs should put around Luka? It's kind of hard to see what players you need around him because of his play style. I'm probably the last person to answer that question, but clearly something's not working. I will say this. I obviously don't watch Mavericks basketball night in and night out, but I am a believer in the Porzingis Luka combo. I I think it will work if they both stay healthy. And you could say that losing Seth Curry, who's been big for the Sixers, is a problem. And I think they lost somebody else. And I don't know. Do you put more shooters around Luka? You know, they drafted Tyrell Terry, who's one of my favorite prospects in the 2020 draft. And I don't know. It's a good question. Frank was amazing today when we were down 12. Exactly. Like this guy, you know, he receives a lot of slander. And, you know, it's easy on social media to pick on Frank Kaminsky. It's easy to pick on DeAndre Ayton, but Frank does a lot of things out there that go unseen. And these last few games, he's been huge. You know, he had a historic almost triple double. He was 2 assists shy of a triple double. He's like the first player in league history to like have, what was the stat line? Like, I made a video on it. Like 13 something point. I don't remember what it was, but it was huge. Go check it out. And he was the first player in NBA history to do that. And he's not even an all-star. So, who is the ideal team to play in the playoffs if we make it? Great question, Greg Paul. I'd say the Dallas Mavericks or the Denver Nuggets. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but those two teams are kind of like our rivals aside the Lakers and Spurs. I think those would be fun matchups. The Nuggets would obviously be really hard because they're playing great as of late. Maybe even the Jazz. Like, I don't know. Let's look at the standings. I know that the night's not over, and I know that the standings change like every day, but we're going to take a look at the standings here. Clippers are, oh wow, they're 9-1 their last 10, 16-5. The Jazz have been insane lately. We're currently the 6th seed at 11-8. The Grizzlies are the 5th seed. What the heck? Oh, that's probably because they haven't played in a while. Yeah, give me like Utah, give me like Denver, give me Dallas, even though I thought they were like last in the, oh, wait, no, the Timberwolves are last. I don't know. It's a good question. Logan Smith says, Sens Geek, how long you think Book is going to stay in Phoenix? I hope he's a franchise player. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Unless like this season just completely collapses and like we have to make the playoffs this year. We just have to. Or Booker's gone, you know, or like let's say like I don't know. My brain is melting right now, but yeah, I hope Booker stays here for the rest of his career. He's talked about it. But then again, Kelly Oubre talked about it, and look how that turned out. I'm losing my voice. The stream can't contain Sons Geek swagger. I hope we're still live. Ooh. So someone in the chat says CP3 reminds me of KJ with the mid pull up. By the way, the mid range game is not gone. That's a good comparison. I like that. People don't talk about KJ enough, by the way. He's another player that never gets talked about. When or if Book leaves, I'll probably cry. Yeah, I'll probably just do a whole live stream if that ever happens and just cry the whole time. Like, I won't even talk. I won't even do my intro. I won't even like give my thoughts. I'll just cry the entire live stream. Would you guys join me for that? Oh man. Oh yeah, so thank you for bringing this up. Chris Paul had too much room on that layup, and even though he's a Hall of Famer, even though he's done this night in and night out, he like did some dribble move and cut in between a couple defenders and wiggled his way through, and it looked like I don't know if he took maybe one too many dribbles. Even I was like, whoa, like when he missed that layup, and Ayton tried, he did grab the board, and I think that's how Booker ended up with his shot. But yeah, I think even he was surprised by that. Um Oubre was traded, great for the culture, but he wasn't a necessity. Book is needed here. Yes. Keyword in that. Needed. And that is what Booker showed tonight. And even though I've been his biggest critic all year, because I know he's a superstar, that's why I'm so hard on Devin Booker. He's shown why he's been needed all season long. So all right, you guys. I think that's gonna do it. I think I've talked about like everything. I mean, I think my next video, which might be tomorrow, is going to be the Suns' first 20 games and just kind of my takeaways on that. But I really have nothing left to talk about. I think we've talked about everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Make sure to Hulk smash the like button. It really does help. It helps me know that you guys like these live streams. I will try my best to go live soon, maybe once a week. I don't want to promise every game because for anybody who does that, that's like, I mean, we all have lives. Real life comes first, and it's just that's too much for me. But stay tuned. Follow me on social media, and thank you guys so much for being here. And you guys are the best. Make sure to Hulk smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. And where's my mouse? But yeah, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. And take care of yourselves. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there. Wear your masks. And God bless. Goodbye.